1. So I work the deli counter at a Texan grocery store chain. Those of you who live in Texas will know exactly, but for y'all who don't, it will be considered a generic grocery store. For those of you unfamiliar with how a deli counter works, we have slicers and uncut meat. We open a bag of meat, slice it, weigh the slices, bag them up, give it to the customer, and then date the bag so we know how long we can sell it for. Some meats are what we call clean. This means that they leave little residue and aren't hard to clean up. These are your plain hams, turkeys, and salamis. Then there are messy items. These leave lots of residue, are hard to slice, and force us to clean the slicer totally and replace our gloves afterwards. So my eyes usually roll when someone orders something like buffalo chicken, curry chicken, liverwurst, etc. We also have a dedicated cheese slicer. Most cheeses are equally frustrating to cut, so there isn't too much change. We do have to change gloves every time we change from meat to cheese and vice versa. This is especially frustrating when someone orders a meat, cheese, then another meat. At my store I'm the closer, and usually work the 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. shift. It also takes a long time to clean, so I've gotten used to telling stupid customers no when they ask for 2 pounds of liverwurst at 8:45 p.m. So there are 3 ways to order food from the deli. You can come up in person, make an order online, and get it a couple hours later, or you can make an order at a kiosk 10 feet from the counter. The kiosk makes a beeping sound and prints out a receipt behind the counter. Usually there is a wait time for this method of at least 15 minutes. This is to ensure that we have enough time to fill the order. That's a lot of exposition, but it's necessary to understand the situation. So one day, I was working alone when I'm taking a few people's orders. I'm in the middle of the last lady's order when a guy in a red button-up orders from the kiosk at 6:48 p.m. From now on, I'll refer to him as Moron. So Moron places his order and it beeps and spits out a receipt. Business as usual. I'll start the order when I finish the lady's order. I have to slice half a pound of processed cheese, which should take another 5 minutes. I finish her order and put away the product I had sliced from. I then am about to start the kiosk, when Moron gets my attention. I ask how I can help him, and he asks in a stern voice, "How long does it take to fill an order?" Now, more context. Moron had ordered American processed cheese, bologna, and blazing buffalo chicken. That is a clean meat, a cheese, and a messy meat. This order should take no less than 15 minutes by myself. Plus, he comes in only 6 minutes after the order had been placed. So I told Moron in my clerk voice, "Your order should take around 15 to 20 minutes. He nearly yelled, "Why has it gotta take so long?" I replied, "It is because I am the only one working here, plus you ordered cheese, meat, and a messy meat, so I have to clean." "Seriously?" he interrupted. "I'll just go to Prompt Porky's Pig Palace, since y'all are taking so dang long." I then said, "Have a great day, sir." As he was walking away, I saved the receipt because I needed to have proof this moron really came in 6 minutes after placing an order, and asking why his long order is taking so long. So now maybe some of you can appreciate the deli a bit more, and if you happen to stop near Houston, Texas, then come say hi, and I'll be glad to share this story over and over again. Moral of the story: please don't harass deli or any type of retail worker. 2. For a little background on my sister, she is a seamstress, and has been one for 20 years now. Aside her job as a manager of the alterations department of a major clothing retailer, she has worked in the costuming for professional stage productions, attended weddings as an on-hand seamstress for critical issues. She does a lot of side work, and all her clients absolutely adore her. She has altered wedding dresses, bridesmaid dresses, pants, blouses, men's suits, etc. She is one of the best at her trade. Now she has many cringe-worthy stories of dealing with customers, but a few years back, before she got her management position at her current place of employment, she worked for a different high-end clothing store. There she worked as an alteration specialist. One day as she was working, she received a call from the sales floor that a woman was there to pick up her mother-of-the-bride dress for her daughter's wedding that was taking place that day. The sales associate informed my sister that the woman claimed that there was something wrong with the dress. My sister went to meet the customer to find out what the issue was. When my sister got to the sales floor to meet the customer, the sales associates informed my sister that the woman was still in the fitting room, and that they had no idea what was wrong because the woman wouldn't let anyone in the room to help. My sister went to the fitting room that the woman was in and knocked on the door and announced, "Ma'am, I'm from the alterations department. Is there—" Mid-sentence, the fitting room door flings open and the woman erupts from the room. The woman was obviously intoxicated, smelled of alcoholic beverages, had a face that was cherry red with rage, and started screeching at my sister. Woman, "Oh my God, look at this! Look at this! You did such a horrible job in this dress! My daughter's wedding is in 2 hours, and this doesn't fit at all! I have nothing else to wear. You ruined my daughter's wedding. I'll never shop here again, and I'm going to tell everyone I know how horrible you people are. How the hell are you going to fix this in less than 2 hours? My sister, being a professional, waited for the woman to finish her rant, and then visually scans the woman up and down. My sister then looks the woman directly in the eyes and calmly replies, "Ma'am, your dress is on backwards." 3. I am a customer service manager at Walmart. I work the night shift 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., where I have to short and drop money for the previous day and set the registers for the next day. So I'm inside the cash office shorting out money for the self-scans. We call them selfies for one reason. When my walkie starts going off, I had about 3 managers trying to talk over each other. I set the wad of money down and take a step out of the office, where my assistant manager and support manager were standing at the entrance. "Did you see him?" The other assistant manager called to the one standing at the door. "Not yet." "Well, he's coming your way. I just called the police." I'm at this point uninterested, worried about my managers because somehow I was the only male scheduled that night. But other than that, I was bored. Many people steal on the night shift. I didn't really think it would turn into what it did. About 10 minutes later, I hear another call over the walkie, asking me to come down to the selfies. I start walking down there, and this was about the time when the man chose to try to leave the store. I didn't see the cop, but I knew he was there. Policy states that at Walmart, you're not stealing unless you walk past the point of no return, past the security scanners. Anywho, the guy walks past the 2 managers, assistant manager 1 and support manager, and the 3rd manager was right behind him. The third manager said, "Sir, can you stop? I have a question." He took off running. The alarms at the doors blared and the cop materialized in front of the man. The man immediately stopped and turned around. He ran past the 2 managers and towards me. I took a step back and retreated to our smoke shop. The cop was standing there issuing the common commands. "On the ground, hands behind your back." He wasn't complying. What he did do was start running towards the smoke shop, towards me and my cashier. The cop immediately ran after him and took a judgment call to tackle him. They landed on the ground in front of me and my cashier. Still struggling, stolen items falling out of the man here and there. I wanted like hell to help, but Walmart policy prohibits me from doing so. So I keep my cashier and myself away from the struggle. I turn around and make my own judgment call. I called 911, America's emergency number, and requested backup for the officer. Now the guy got the officer off him and tried to run again. I jumped over the register and blocked his path by putting a cart in front of the aisle. He backed up, and the cop got him again. He struggled the man down as the first of his backup arrived. They finally got him subdued. I was the fool who got to scan all the items to come up with the total amount he stole. He had 3 hoodies on and 2 jogging pants, both of them tucked into his boots. He had items shoved into his underpants, jogging pants both sets, and each arm and pocket of his hoodies. He attempted to steal more than $900 worth of crap. No one knows how he fitted it all on himself. 4. Let us set the stage. Walmart. I was a cashier for a while, which I gotta say was a pretty fun job. I had moved to a new town with my soon-to-be hubby, and just took whatever job I could find to pay the bills till I could get back in my office field. You do what you need to do to make ends meet. Here I am one day on my belt ringing people in, laughing at the ones I know are stoned off their asses from the munchies on my belt and having a good day. I am a very social person and can make conversation with anyone, even if I want to punch people most days. Well, this day, a woman comes through my till and she has red peppers. Now they rang in different from what was on the sign. She told me, I fixed it. Still was wrong, she was mad. I could not get it to ring the price she kept saying they were. So I tried to get a manager, but this was a Saturday in Walmart, which means you have your roller skates on, it's so busy, and my line kept getting longer over 3 peppers. I was nice to her, apologized and told her, if she wanted to get it fixed, just go to the service desk and they could help. Oh, she did. Then came back to yell at me and say they fixed my stupidity. The customers in my line were shocked by how she was acting. By the way, the price difference, I kid you not, was 5 cents. A whole fucking nickel. Anyhow, I let it go and think that is the end. Oh no, my dear, not even close. She went to the display of peppers, ripped the sign off, came back to my till, and then whipped at me and again told me I was stupid. The man in my line was ready to smack her, but I told him to let it go. Closed my till and found my supervisor where I asked if I can punch customers. She laughed, said no and asked why. I told her. She said next time flip on my light and they will be happy to do it for me. Even in Canada, we have nasty, mean people over a nickel. 5. This is my story, and this kind of happened to me as I was there. More so to my co-workers, but I'll explain. I used to work for Walgreens back in 2004 to 2005 in California. Still live there and have all my life so far. I worked graveyard, so it's from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. It was a 24-hour store, hence the graveyard shift, but man do I have stories to tell from this job. The saying they only come out at night is never truer than this place, because the store is placed like it's in the middle of train tracks, of the good side and bad side of the city. To give an idea, the store faces west, meaning that if you look at the front, into the store, you are facing east. Looking to the street facing out of the store's point of view to the left side is the better, nicer part of the neighborhood. And to the right is, you guessed it, the bad part. It really didn't help that we had a roach motel right next to us. Really, right next to us, so that's another story in itself for another time. As this happened 12 years or so ago, I may not remember all the details, and will try to tell all of what I remember here. I do not remember the day or time, as you lose track when you work graveyard. Lucky for me, we had a full crew, and a full crew for graveyard is 1 manager, a pharmacist, and 2 floor people. Myself being a floor person and cashier, as that is what I do. I would guess it was around 1 or 3 in the morning when the incident occurred. I am facing the front of the store, that is, cleaning and making the store straight and proper for the morning shift. My co-worker, let's name her Jan, is manning the register. My manager, let's name him Mr. B, is taking care of a customer on the other register. A woman around her 40s or 50s comes in as I'm doing my work. I am in earshot of all this. As Jan finishes with her customer, the woman walks up and demands that we give her a pack of cigarettes. And Jan grabs a pack of what she wants. As Jan is giving her the total, she demands it for free. Now mind you, she just walked in and did not go anywhere else in the store, or shop for anything else. And, I'm sorry ma'am, but you have to pay for these, I can't give you them for free. Woman, why not? I want them for free. Jan, you can't give them for free, you have to pay. Woman, if Oprah Winfrey walked in here and demanded cigarettes, you give to her for free. If the president asked for cigarettes, you'd give it for free. Jan, no, they would still have to pay for them. Yes, people, she really said those lines, I kid you not. At this rate, she is getting irate and yelling at Jan to give her the cigarettes now. Jan walks away from her as she follows. She yells every name in the book at her for not doing what she wants. At this point, Mr. B steps in, cause he was there, and saw the whole thing, and tries to calm her down, as do I. Let me tell you, I am an average Asian guy, 5'8", a little more to love, nice way of saying chubby, not fat, and I wear glasses. At the time, I also had a shaved head and a goatee. So aside from the dress shirt we had to wear and the glasses, if I took off my glasses, I kinda looked like someone you don't want to mess with. I was never threatening to her in any way, shape or form, as we are both trying to calm her down. She then proceeds to yell at Mr. B about getting the cigarettes for free. Woman: I know Oprah and the president, and if they walked in here, you would give them to him for free. Yeah, right, lady. If you really knew them, 1, why are you here, and 2, get it from them. I then walk up to her and start talking to her. I guess this is where the look of me having my head shaven and having a goatee comes in, because the whole time she was yelling, she never looked at me or acknowledged me. She would only yell and look at Jan or Mr. B, even when I was right in front speaking to her. Me: ma'am, you need to lower your voice and calm down. I may have said other things, but overall my interaction with her was very one-sided. Mr. B: I can't give you the cigarettes and you're causing a problem. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Woman: I'm not leaving until I get my cigarettes. For free. Mr. B: if you're not going to leave, I will have to call the police. Woman: go ahead and call the police. I don't care, I want my cigarettes. Mr. B then walks away to call the police, as I'm still there trying to calm her down and make her leave. The woman then proceeds to go back to Jan and yell at her for another 10 minutes, still ignoring me until the police arrive and take her away. After that fun, we all talked during our lunch. We ate lunch in the front of the store by the registers together for safety reasons, and because it's only 3 of us sometimes. Mr. B tells us that on the phone with the police, when he was describing her, they knew who she was and would be there soon. Best part of the night, or day, is that at the end of my shift, the store manager walks in to get the lowdown on what happened. And before I left the store, he tells me that I must have put the fear of God in her. If that were true, she would have walked right out of the front of the store when she saw me. Another fast one. This did not happen to me, nor was I working that night. The motel next to us got raided by the police one night. Everyone who worked at that store knew drug dealers worked out of it, because at all times of night we would see dealers coming and going to pick up and drop off. I later found out one of the rooms was being used as a small meth lab. My co-worker Jan worked that night, and said when the police rolled up for the bust, he locked the doors as soon as she could so they could not escape into the store. I have other stories if anyone ever cares to hear more of the wonderful world of a Walgreens employee. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Adventures in Fast Food and Retail Subscriber Edition number 2. Thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. If you have a story you'd like to share, then please do send it to kingofthecities@gmail.com. You can find the email in the description of this video and any video in the future. All you have to do is be as detailed as possible when writing out your story, and mark in the title what type of story it is. It just makes it easier for me to sort them into various categories. Okay, so... well, I usually like to take the weekend off to relax. I usually get all my weekend videos done early, but as you folks will have seen, episode 300 was very long, with longer stories and a Q&A. That went up on Monday if you haven't seen it yet, of the Scary Stories videos. And so that kind of took most of the weekend actually to get done properly. So in theory, I should have Tuesday off, unless I end up deciding to do something. So what I'm going to try and do tomorrow, you guys will get this. Well, you guys will get this on Tuesday. So in theory, I'm going to try and pack in a weekend's worth of relaxation on the Tuesday. I'll be wiggling my toes very seriously. I'll be playing video games with gusto and possibly eating unhealthy snacks. Usually try to be good during the week and only indulge on the weekends now, but I think we'll make an exception in this one case. Though I will have to nip out, hope the weather's okay for it, nip out, do a little bit of grocery shopping and then it's toe wiggling time when I get back. And with that, I think I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.